Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 117, Chapter 117 of Sneaking and Splitting. I don't think that's a good idea. Ida turns to Izuku, looking scandalized. And why not? Now everyone's eyes are on him. That opening is too obvious. The villains are probably waiting just out of view for us to show up. Well, it's the only one we could all fit through. Not if we go one at a time. Izuku points to the hole he's been eyeing earlier. Everyone turns to look, and a few people wince at the size of it. The hole isn't exactly big, but it should be able to fit them one at a time. There's even enough debris piled underneath that it's within reach. I'm not sure if... Ida is cut off by Izuku's dad. Just listen to Izuku. His plan is safer. Ida looks ready to argue, but the rest of the class is already heading over to the opening. Even from his spot at the back of the group, Izuku can tell that it's a bit of a climb. They're so far underground that the roof is extra thick. But they're lucky. Because of the thickness of the roof, there's enough debris that the climb doesn't look too complicated. Although it does look a little painful. The edges of the debris are sharp enough to cut if you're not careful enough. Izuku eyes the soaked feet from the frown. Everyone's in their pajamas, their shoes and hero costumes in the other room. It's unfortunate that the collapse happened while they were in the common room. But there's nothing they could do about it now. At least they're all together. They sent Kirishima up first. His quirk is the best option in case of a surprise attack, and he's already had experience fighting villains. Everyone is tense while they wait, but within minutes, Kirishima pops back into view, reaching an arm down to help the next person up. It feels like it takes forever for them to all escape. Izuku's the last to do so, struggling to fit his way into the cramped hallway. Everyone's quietly listening to the distant sounds of footsteps and fighting. Izuku isn't sure what they're all waiting for, but then he meets one set of eyes and realizes the rest are on him as well. His class is waiting for him to lead them out of here. Izuku nervously shoots his way to the front, as careful as he can, but he knows a couple of people ended up with his elbow in their ribs. He carefully peers around the corner and finds another hallway. It's not recognizable, so this must be the girls' side of the dorm. This hallway is clear, but he's not sure if there's anyone around the corner, so Izuku gestures for his classmates to wait, sprinting quietly down the hall. At that moment, he's happy at the lack of shoes. Those would cause way too much noise when trying to go for stealth. He slows when he hears the end, and thankfully finds just beyond clear. Izuku turns back to the other end, and finds Hitoshi watching him. Izuku gives him a thumbs up as he starts to move down the hallway. The rest of the class follow closely. While he waits for them to reach Izuku, he focuses on danger sense. He's been multiplying it the past few weeks. With the current situation, it's been going haywire, acting up when it really didn't need to. He's not sure it'll help now, when there's the risk of danger at every corner, but he finds it pleasantly silent when he checks. Izuku will keep it on for now. It flares up near the end of this short hallway, so Izuku pulls a hand out to stop the group. He checks around the corner and finds a single person, paying more attention to his phone than his surroundings. If only the rest of his class knew sign language. That would make it easier to communicate while they're being stealthy. Izuku does his best to silently tell them there's one person, and he's revealed when he gets nods of understanding. He's not relieved when Kachan barges past him into the next hallway. Izuku backs up a little, expecting an explosion, but the only sound is a light thug, and he hopes that it was a villain and not Kachan. A few people yelp when someone rounds the corner, and Kachan hushes them aggressively from his new spot at the head of the group. He lets Izuku retake the lead. Izuku leads the class down the next hallway, but stumbles about halfway down. Whatever is beyond this hallway must be bad, but they don't have any other option other than try and sneak by it. This way leads to the common room, which is their only escape. He walks a lot slower to the end and looks as careful as he can around the corner. It's a disaster. Huge chunks of rubble lie around, and there's a massive hole where the front door used to be. They must have just blasted it open to get through the security. The hallway had been remarkably unscathed, so this must be where they were setting the bombs. Unfortunately, the rubble isn't what's setting his quirk off. There are people mingling about, doing who knows what. Izuku can spot at least 10 from this position, and who knows how many are lurking past the rubble. Izuku looks around for a second, before sprinting to the closest chunk of ceiling. There's nobody facing the hallway, or this chunk of debris. The class can probably hide behind this, if there's no one around the edges. Izuku creeps around on his hands and knees, and peers around the corner. There's a couple more people visible from this position, but nobody close enough to spot them if they are careful. So he crawls back to the other end of the rubble and waves to his friend's attention. After another check, that nobody is looking, he gestures them over, and a group of maybe 4 of them make their way. He's glad only a few of them are making their way. A group too large would have attracted attention. Izuku hadn't known how to communicate for just a small group, but his class is smart enough to figure it out. It takes a long time to get everyone behind this chunk of building. They have to wait until no one is paying attention to move. And there were too many close calls. They're lucky that nobody has noticed this time. They're not so lucky with their next hiding spot. There are less people within the vicinity, but it's far smaller than their current spot. It will still successfully hide maybe 12 of them, but this means they have to split up. Izuku stands a little to see how close they are to the exit. There may be hallways through the common room, so it shouldn't be too bad to split them up. They have no idea what's beyond the gaping hole of the doorway, due to the darkness outside, so it's a bit of a gamble. But also their only choice. Izuku looks back to find Toshi right behind him, just as he hoped. We need to split up. I want you leading the other group. Once it gets to 9 people, you have to move to the next spot. He chooses 9 because it's around half of their group. It's better to keep them mostly even. Instead of arguing, like Izuku half expected, Hitoshi gives him a stiff nod before turning away. He peers around the corner, then books it for the next piece of rubble. Izuku sends Todoroki right after him. He wants somebody he trusts to be able to watch his boyfriend's back. He wants people he trusts in his group as well, so Izuku avoids sending Kacchan and Kirishima across. For the rest of Todoshi's group, Izuku just goes by who is closest. So Ida is next to go, followed closely by Asu, and next, Ayama, Eijirou, Koda, Shoji, and Tokoyami. Izuku nearly sends Uraraka across before realizing he sent as many as he said he would. It takes a few minutes before they disappear. When they do, Izuku gives it a few extra minutes before he starts sending his group. They're close enough to the doorway, and there are few enough people over here that Toshi's group may have made it out by the time he sends Kacchan. Sero is next in line. After him is Kaminari. And their luck finally runs out. His friend makes it halfway, but the door is littered with small pieces of rubble. Kirishima trips over one and ends up twisting awkwardly to try and silence his fall. Izuku peers around the corner and nearly swears in time with Kacchan's. A villain is staring straight at Kaminari. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright, well, I mean, splitting up, really? No, I get why they had to split up. It was logical, right? They didn't split up unless they absolutely have to, and in that moment, they had to. It was a moment of like, okay, yeah, no, there's no way we're not splitting up and stuff like that. Which is understandable, obviously. But, let's see. The next chapter is called Of Weak Villains and a Short Timer. Kaminari defeats the villain that comes after him, but more are quick to follow. And then the fight really begins. Okay, alright. Interesting. I'm scared. We are nearing the end of this, but do not worry, I am going to be asking if I could do the rest of this fanfic, so I'm going to go ahead and send a message. duplicate tab, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to the first chapter of this, and I'm just gonna ask for to do the rest of the series, of the trying series. Or let me see. Can I do individually ask for each one? No, it is a long thing. Okay, so I'll go to the first one, and I'll go ahead and ask if I could or I guess I'll do, give me a second. No, I guess I'll do that just so they know that I've done the first one, this series, the first part of the series. You get what I mean? I think you get what I mean. Okay, so comments, and then I'll go over here, and then give me a second. Give me a moment. I'm reading something. All right, I read that. I thought that was something else. It wasn't. I forget that there's other podfickers. Not that I forget that. It's just I found cat in the comment section. I'm like, hold on a second, I need to read this. But and then like above that there was another podficker, and I'm like, oh, this podficker's new, and I checked out their channel. That's what I was doing, right? So I saw cat, and then I was like the other one, and you know, I checked out the channel. But I'm here writing. Hey, I'm almost done with your podfic, with podficking this fanfic, and I was wondering if you would let me do the rest of the series, the one-shots and everything. I've really fallen in love with this fanfic. You did such a great job. And they did. Foreplay, you did such a... Yeah, foreplay, you did such a good... Dude, your name has me... I cannot. Okay, each time I say your name, I have to like stop myself because I'm like, did I say the right one? But no, yeah, I love this series, and I have asked. So for those in the comments asking if I could do the rest of the series, I have officially asked the author, and depending on what they say is if I will do the rest of the series. I am very much interested in doing the rest of the series, the one-shots and all of that, right? Hold up, I should clarify the rest of the trying series. Comments. No. Hide comments. Hide comments. Duplicate tab. That was the wrong tab. Go to the top, and then chapter index, and then go to chapter 1. Wow. Okay. Now go all the way down, and then go to comments. Go to comments. Go to comments. Thank you. And then I'm in the third one, and then I'll just edit that. Edit. There we go. Let me do the rest of this. Let me do the rest of the trying series update. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. So hopefully they say yes, and hopefully I get to do the rest of this. We do have a couple more chapters left. Well, I mean, I don't have my phone with me. Okay. I have to do mental math. Fuck. I don't do mental math. I don't do mental math. We probably have like a little bit. 10. No, we have 9. Okay, we have 9 chapters left. So a week and a half. Oh my god. No! I want more. Okay, well, it's okay. I asked for permission to do the rest. So hopefully we'll be allowed to do the rest. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I really hope we do get allowed to do the rest. I really like the series, and I would really like to continue the series. Okay, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.